and excited to let you know a little bit more.
Terrific.
Great.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you so much.
We have a presentation that we prepared. Can we enable screen sharing if that's possible?
Yes, you've got it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, excellent. And Z, feel free to jump in if there's anything. So just to kick us off quickly, I'll just give you a quick background on the Olmstead app. So when we celebrated the 150th celebration of Olmstead in Buffalo, which was in 2018 when the celebration of when Olmstead came to Buffalo in 1868 and conceived of the first urban park system, we had this idea to just provide a better experience for park users on the digital side, a greater accessibility for those who wanted to plan a visit to the Olmstead system, see the types of amenities that we have to offer, and also learn a little bit more about the park system that we have here in Buffalo. Many people know about the park that they go to on a daily basis, so we saw an opportunity to be able to let folks know that there are 6 parks, 7 parkways, 8 circles that they can visit and help them to understand a little bit more about the connectivity of the system. So we decided to do that through the Olmstead app, which we launched in 2018. And this year we received some funding from New York State that allowed us to do an update to that app. And we launched that just a few weeks ago in July. It was actually pushed back due to the pandemic, but we were able to launch that, and I'm just going to go over a few of the features, but I'm also going to talk about just something exciting that we have outside of the app that's called FLOmingos. I'll explain that in a few minutes. So Z, if you don't mind moving ahead. That's okay. We're still okay. Here we go. So this is just a great photo and of the app, and shows the different features that we offer. So if you don't mind, I'm going to start at the bottom with wayfinding. So as I mentioned, the app does provide a really nice wayfinding feature for people who are planning to visit the park or are already in the park. It lets them know not only where just the simple customer service amenities are, where bathrooms are, where they can find drinking fountains, where different soccer fields or baseball diamonds might be if they are coming with their family or if they're on a league themselves. But it also lets people know where different features are in the park in case they are looking for special Olmstedian features like our Ivy Bridge, for example. The other really nice feature about the app is that we're able to input Conservancy news or relevant information. It lets people know when there might be something special for them to read in the newspaper, but also if there's, a weather incident happening, or if we are, experiencing snow and trees have fallen down or something along those lines. So we're able to update park users up to the minute with really important information that could be impacting their park experience. The Conservancy does do a series of events. We do fundraising events as well as programming. So it's a nice way for us to be able to promote the things that are happening in the parks, not only that are hosted by the Conservancy, but that are hosted by our partners as well. So it helps to spread the word across the community for us, as well as for other nonprofits or other organizations that are doing things in the parks. And my personal favorite feature, and this is just something that is really, really cool and a new way to experience parks. Back in 2018, we launched an augmented reality feature of Lost Landscapes. With the new update, in 2021, we expanded that augmented reality feature. Oh, thank you, Z. We expanded that augmented reality feature to include another lost landscape in one of our, in another park. So we have 2 augmented reality features now. One of the Lakeview House at Front Park, which is a structure that was built by Calvert, or designed by Calvert Vaux, and has since been demolished. It's been gone for many years, but it is an interesting feature to that park, as well as the Quarry Garden in Delaware Park. So the updates that we implemented through this second phase included interpretive signage, which is really nice for people who don't have the app but still want to learn about these features. It encourages them to download the app, but they can still read about these features on our interpretive signage. And then when you hold up the phone through the app to the sign, it actually becomes like a portal to the past. So the sign disappears and the lost landscape feature appears where the sign was. So it's a really interesting way to take a step back in history, a step back in time, and to see some of those original features that we have through the augmented reality. And we do have plans to expand this in the future, but it's, the plan is tied to funding. So if we get the funding, we can expand to have more augmented reality. So this, sorry, I went over this already, but you can save upcoming events in your smartphone calendar. You can book tickets as part of the news and the events and just stay up to date. And here's just more information about the wayfinding. So where food and beverages are available, comfort stations, bathrooms. And the last bullet point here is important as well. All of the cultural neighbors that sit within the Olmsted landscape, there are actually 7 cultural neighbors that sit within our footprint. So we're very proud to be able to promote them and provide greater access to the zoo and the history museum and our art gallery and science museum so that people can learn a little bit more about the offerings of those cultural partners. And then we have a short video that we'll show. If everybody can see this, this is the augmented reality, or this is what the app looks like in real time. This is the event section in news. And this is the augmented reality. So there's the sign and there's the sign transforming to the lost landscape. Very nice videos, eh? It looks great.
Any questions so far? Or comments?
Yeah, can you tell us the approximate price tag?
Oh, sure. That's a great question. So I feel like, gosh, we've been working on this update since early 2020 with COVID. So we spent approximately $69,000 on the development of the app and the augmented reality. And then part of the grant that we got from New York State, there's marketing that is funneled into that. So we had about $60,000 to $65,000 that we could do in marketing funds. So it was put together, the app development and the marketing all in a single grant, which was wonderful because the way that you spread the word and get downloads for something like this is by doing some extensive marketing. So the funding that we received allowed us to do marketing not only across New York State, but into Pennsylvania, into Ohio, into Ontario to help bring people, when people come to visit Buffalo, they know that this app is here and this is an experience for them as part of the tourist model for Buffalo and Western New York. So unfortunately, the Canadian border is still closed. So we're hoping that we can do a little bit more marketing in Ontario in the future. But COVID really did impact the timeline for some of that marketing, and we'll be continuing that now through the end of 2021.
And this was through the Cultural Resources and Tourism Bureau that you got the grant? Is that
So
right?
it actually came through Market New York.
Oh.
Yeah, and Dee Dee, that's a great question. I'm not sure if Market New York if that funding line sits within the Cultural Tourism Bureau in New York State. It does sit within Empire State Development, but I'm not sure the exact relationship with that Cultural Tourism Bureau. But there is, with Market New York, there is the tourist, there are tourist data points that we have to be pulling as part of this grant.
Okay. Well, certainly for our Olmsted Network, other members in New York, it would be definitely something that they could explore as well then, I'm assuming, unless it was a one-time deal.
No, the Market New York grant funds all types of capital improvements that would impact tourism, as well as the marketing and, you know, digital things like this. So if anybody else in your network would ever have any questions from New York State about the Market New York process, you know, please feel free to reach out to Stephanie. She can loop me into that conversation. I would be happy to talk a little bit about our experience with that process.
Fantastic. And do you have a staffer full-time working on this, or how do you keep it up to date?
Yeah, so my team is smiling as they're sitting around the table. So we think about this as just part of our digital platform, our digital channel. So we have Z, who is our marketing communication specialist. So Z helps us with the content and the updating. Sarah Larkin, our event coordinator, helps to make sure that we're funneling the information to Z to get it up on the app. So we really think about it just as another channel that we're updating with the information that we are putting together and putting out through our social media or website channel. But that really, it's important to think about that staff capacity. At least, you know, for the updating, it was, you know, it's a time consuming process to put an app together and to design an app. So there was a capacity, you know, it took, I was involved in the development. So it's important to think about both the short term and the long term staffing requirements to keep something like this going.
Great. Do we have other questions for this wonderful, wonderful app? It's great.
Thank you. We're very excited about it, especially the augmented reality. It really came together beautifully. And it's very exciting.
Yeah.
So if there's no other questions about augmented reality, do you want to talk about flamingos here? Do you want me to?
This looks like
Okay.
real augmented reality.
So we'll just give a quick overview. Do you want to talk about this here, or do you want me to?
I can do it. if you
Okay.
want me to.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So if you have any questions about the app later on, feel free to share that in the chat or email as well. And upcoming this year that we announced, which is as part of Olmstead 200 next year, we'll be reattempting the Guinness World Records for the longest line of flamingos, which we attempted first and succeeded in 2018 for Frederick Law Olmsted's 150th legacy in Buffalo. And someone took our title, so we're going to reattempt it and take it back. So we're going to do that next year as part of Olmsted's 200th birthday, and we hope that will bring us again national attention, which it did back in 2018. So these are some photos from the first attempt on Bedwell Parkway, which is one of the original Olmsted Parkways that Frederick Law Olmsted designed, part of the Olmsted system in Buffalo. And we hope that this special event will bring Buffalo together as we celebrate Frederick Law Olmsted's birthday next year. So this is, if anyone is interested in adopting a Buffalo Guinness World Record flamingo, this is the link, or even just taking a look at it and seeing what we're up to. And if you have any comments or feedback from an Olmsted perspective, because everyone here is an Olmsted expert and enthusiast, please feel free to share it with us.
Yeah, and this is also how we're just, it's a nice way to bring the Buffalo community together, to bring them into the celebration. As Z said, the fundraising component is, you know, of course, important for us, really just to cover the cost of a program like this. And we did have people, the first time we did it in 2018, we weren't sure if people would want to pay to buy the Guinness World Record flamingos, but it turned out people were really interested in doing that. So we put together an adoption program this year. So people are actually able to adopt their flamingo a year in advance. So we'll be doing this adoption program all throughout the year, which inherently just promotes the 200th celebration. So it's a really nice hybrid marketing opportunity. Yeah, Buffalo is very competitive. I don't know if any of you are familiar with our sports teams or anything like that, but when we have something to celebrate like this, we really have a good time as a community coming together. And when the other organization took back their original title that we had broken from them, we realized that it was time for us to step up and take that title back again. So that's another thing that we'll be doing, and we'll be utilizing the Olmstead app as part of that as well.
Okay, terrific. Any questions? Mhm. Well, these presentations were both wonderful, and we really appreciate it. And do we have other questions from folks who are here today, or things you'd like to share in terms of what you all are planning so that you can help inspire all of us? I know I love to hear other ideas, because if I haven't thought of them, then I all of a sudden get a new idea. So it's let's share. All right, you're all shy today.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Who was it?
Yeah. Well, and I do want to just emphasize, as you all are engaging in your summer activities, please do think of those things that should go on the national calendar. We are very interested in posting as many of your endeavors as possible. So by way of example, Trinity College is going to be doing carillon music in the bicentennial year in conjunction with the special sponsored Inspired by Olmstead Carillon competition. So they have already posted on their calendar their summer series. It really is launching their activities. So do be thinking, as you're undertaking efforts, how you can post them on the national calendar and get people really thinking about coming to Palos Verdes or coming to Belle Isle. We need to get people planning their schedule for 2022 now, and that's a good way to do that. So, and I just reiterate, we have the blog, and we welcome the pieces from you. If you have things that you would like to get into the blog, 500 to 800 words with beautiful photos. But Victoria and I are happy to help you with those at any time, and as well as with all the branding tools and other materials. Good. Well, we will send this agenda out with all the links so that you have it. And then we will plan to reconvene in August.
Thank you so much, Dee Dee.
Thank you.
Thanks to all of you. Love your ideas. Appreciate all you're doing. Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye. Have a great weekend.